Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kimberly, and here on this channel we take about all things beauty, from makeup, skincare, hair, and perfume. If those things interest you, just keep on watching. So today I have a new release for you. This is the Strawberry Picnic palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. It is this beautiful, very summery palette that was just released from them. And I just love the color story. So we have, obviously, when you think of strawberries and picnic, you expect pinks and reds. But she also gives us some other colors. So we get some neutrals, which you can kind of think about, the ground, the earth, obviously the grass, the leaves on the strawberry, the trees themselves, and then a picnic that's full of fruits and life and warmth. And I see that in this very palette, which is very warm leaning color tones. So you have these beautiful pinks, greens, browns, reds, and I love they have their usual format, which is 2 rows of mattes and 1 row of shimmers. So we have 12 beautiful mattes and 6 beautiful shimmers. So I'll insert some swatches here so you can see what it looks like. And now I want to create some looks with this palette. So I think, as you can tell from my top, I'm going for more of the strawberry vibe. I think I'm going to do a pink and red type of look. So kind of staying over on this side of the palette. Probably use some of these darker, this red here and this darker pink down here. Maybe some of this lighter pink as well. And then kind of use these shimmers. So kind of staying over in this area. And then for the lower lash line, may do a little bit of the green, possibly, so I can do the leaves of the strawberry. And then maybe darken out the outer V a little bit with this brown. And that's called Chocolate Dipped. That's so cute. I love the names that they put on the palette. So we have this mid-tone pink here that is Strawberry Pie. And then we have this next cooler tone pink called Berry Picking. And then we have this next color here, which kind of a more warm pink leaning color, little kind of a mix of a pink and a tan in my opinion, called Berry Good. And then next we have this nice kind of orangey tone matte, and this called Picnic. And then next we have this first green is called Orchard. And then this one is called Garden Fresh. That's that lighter green in the palette there, which I really do like. And then here, this first shimmer is called Jam. And then we have, of course, Shortcake. And why would it not be the strawberry type of color? Makes sense. And this is Gingham. I think that's right, Gingham. The next kind of lighter pink shimmer. And then we have this lighter color here, kind of a mix of a pink and brown type of colors in my opinion. It's really pretty. You can kind of see it there. And it's called Berry Fields. We have this really pretty green shimmer called Sweet and Juicy. And then next we have Blanket, where this is really pretty silver, very nice silver shimmer there. And then next for the mattes, lower side here, this darker pink is Picnic Treats. And then this red is called Basket Pull. And then we have Farmer's Market, which is this really nice brown here, lighter brown, a warmer brown, and then a more cool tone, darker brown was that Chocolate Dipped I mentioned earlier. This nice deep green matte, and this one is called Berry Barn. And then we have In Season is this last green matte here. So I think I'm going to start. Now, they also have, with their new release, is a new brush set, which is so pretty. And they sent this over to me as well. And thank you so much, Simply Posh, for sending the palette and these brushes. I've used their brushes before and I really like them. I really think they're very pretty. I love they have this nice white handle. It has the Simply Posh name written in this nice rose gold that matches the rose gold ferrule. And I love the shapes. As you can see, I've already used half of the set, but I love there's multiples of the blending brushes. They have some smaller ones, medium-sized ones. We have some that'll be great for lower lash line or for your brow. We have some smaller ones for detail work and inner corner. We have some that are really small, which I think are really good for the lower lash line. We have a flat shader brush, which I think is really good for shimmers. And then different size blender brush, which you could use obviously in the crease or in the outer V. But I love them, and they're very soft. They clean very well. They do very well with packing on the colors. So I'm going to use some of these in my look today. So starting off first, I think I'm going to grab one of these nice blending brushes. I don't think there's a number on them. So it's just this one of the nice medium-sized blending brushes. And I'm gonna go into one of the colors, but before I do that, I almost forgot. I usually come on with my face completely done, but for today, I decided I wanted to make sure that I showed you the Day Day Signature Lock-In Base. I'm using the shade Ivory Grip, and I was sent this in PR from Day Day Signature, and it's a wonderful base. I'm using it a lot. It has 4 different shades. And you can pick this up at the Day Day Signature website, and you can use code Kimberly. It'll save you 10%. And you can pick this up or anything else if you're interested. However, I figure with some of these lighter shades, it'd be good to use a white base. So I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to put this on. It doesn't take much. That's one thing I will tell you. Let me go grab my mirror. So we're just going to put one dab there. Start with that. And then one dab there. All right. And I already have on my foundation. I use the new airbrush filter foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. This is what I use today. For my concealer, I use 2 of the new airbrush concealers and just put that under my eyes as well. For my powder, I use the Prism Libre powder. This is number 6, the loose setting powder. Love this so much. For my bronzer, use from the Jordan Liberty and Blend Bunny Masterclass collection, number 8, the Doe bronzer palette, and I'm using this all the time. And I mix these 2 colors and just put it around the periphery. I figured I'd put on my blush and do my eyes with you guys. So now back to putting in this concealer. So I just pop it in. I really like this concealer. It does such a good job of making my eyeshadows pop, and they also stay very well. So I use this all the time, and in fact I like it so much I bought backups. So I'm just putting this all over the lid. So I hope you guys are doing well. Hit me up in the comments and let me know if you have any fun summer plans. Are you going on any picnics or taking any trips? Love to hear about what you guys have going on right now. For now, just hanging out. I'm doing my makeup. Gonna hang out with my best friend this weekend. It's her birthday weekend, so we're gonna go hang out and go out to eat and have some fun. Other than that, not really too much else. I'm filming this on a Friday, so don't have any other really big plans for the weekend, but hopefully just enjoy hanging out with her and maybe getting some stuff done around the house. Always a never-ending story. But anyway, okay. So again, I'm going to start with that blending brush, and I think I'm going to go first into this nice red color that is Basket Pull. So just tap a little bit there, and then you can see this red is pigmented, okay? And I'm just going to put this in the outer V. Now look at that. Whoa, look at that pigmentation. Love it. Now I'm getting a little bit of fallout. I can tap my brush a little bit, and I probably should have done that before I started. So just to be aware, you may want to tap your brush out. But I want to make sure I get this red to be as red as it possibly can be. So I want to do that. Look at that. That is pigmented. And just putting that over on the outer side. So when I saw the palette, obviously I expected the reds, since it's called Strawberry Picnic, but I was very happy to see the brown shades and some green shades. So definitely you can do all types of look with this palette, which is fantastic. But I haven't done a red and pink look in some time, so I figured, hey, this is a good time to put one of these on. And never more fun to do it than doing it with you guys. So I figured we'd have some time playing with these reds and seeing what they do, and they are performing very well. I am enjoying them. They're going on easily and blending very well as well. So I'm going to put this in here. Try to make sure they match a little bit, but we're going to cover it up with another color. So, but always a good place to start. All right, so now I'm going to take another blending blush, and it's going to be the little bit smaller one, also from the Simply Posh set. And I'm going to go into this shade here, Picnic Treats. So we're going to get a little bit of that, friend. Tap it off just a smidge. And then I'm going to put this on the inner part, just inside of that first deeper shade. And put that there. Just trying to get a little bit of an ombre effect there. Same on this side. Tapping off my brush a little bit. Yep, just trying to make sure that our friends are matching. You can always go back in, get a little bit more of that color. And I'm just tapping it in to make sure I get the pigment set down the way I want it to. And then I'm blending it around a little bit. So blending in that second shade into the first red. Just a smidge there. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, so next we're gonna go into, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of, what is it called? Very Good. Very Good. I'm gonna put a little bit of that just above those two shades. Look at that. Oh, that's showing up well. So just putting it just above those two. Which is really pretty. I'm liking that. Now the shades are a little bit of powdery, so there is some kick up. So like I said, I would definitely tap off your brush. Particularly this last shade here is getting some good kick up in the pan. So just to be aware if that's something you think about. And see, I'm just kind of putting it over both of those shades. Like so. Yeah, I really like how that's looking. Good. Okay. I already kind of used those other ones. So actually, for this other shade, I'm going to add this Refer number 12. And I'm going to use this, so I want a little more of a detail for the Strawberry Pie shade. So I'm going to go into that shade right there using this brush. And you see I'm going to kind of paint this on the inner part of the lid. So I'm painting it here. So I'm packing it first, then blending it out there. But you see it's going on very well. That's really pretty. And kind of fading it into that other color there. And don't worry about it being perfect. I'm going to cover up with some shimmers, but if you wanted an all matte look, this could work too. So now I'm going to do the other side. And don't fret. I'm not finished with that upper part yet. So I'm just tapping that in. Tapping off my brush to limit the fallout and putting it there on the inner lid. Now, what I'm going to do is take that same color, Strawberry Pie, and I'm going to put this right under the brow. So I'm gonna cover up all of the white and kind of give it a little bit of a highlight, as you can see on this side. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, I'm liking this. So I'm definitely feeling like a strawberry princess. So just doing the same thing over here under the brow. And as you can see, the colors are showing up very well, especially on this base. Very nice. And I like using this brush here to pack on the color. And it's allowing me to also be pretty precise with where I'm putting everything. A little bit more here. There we go. I am just a little strawberry. But I love how all the colors show up so well. I really, really like this. It's really pretty. Okay, so now for the lower lash line, I'm going to use that other blush that I told you that I think would be good for. It's kind of got this angle here. And I think what I'm going to do is use the browns, split dipped. And I'm going to put this on the lower lash line here. Just like so. That's cool. This brown has like a pink undertone to it, which I really like. So that's cool. That's cool. With my skin tone, it's not standing out too much, but I actually like it because it just shows that there's just a little something there. But I wanted to kind of use some of the browns for part of the lower lash line there. So I'm going to finish packing that on, okay? And then I'm going to bring down some of the pinks. So I think I'm going to use some of the red and the pink. So I'm going to use actually some of the Picnic Treats and then Basket Full. So I'm going to put the Picnic Treats more under the brown, but on the inner part here, like so. That's cool. Like that. And same on the other side. Sure, I got my brush going away, kind of blending those colors together. And the good thing with this brush is you can stamp. You really want the color to pop, so you can stamp it and then blend it afterwards. So that's really showing up well. And then I'm gonna take some of that red shade to kind of tie it up to the upper and put it right here on the outer part of the lower lash line. Just like so. There we have it. Like that. So I'm going to next do my blush. And I decided that I wanted to do this Pat McGrath that I have not used. This is the Skin Fetish Divine Blush Duo in the shade Night Bloom. It's really pretty. It came out a long time ago. But kind of swirling my brush in there. See, it kind of goes with the cheeks, I think. And so I'm just going to tap this on. Just like so. There you go. There she goes. Better go careful. She is pigmented. She is pigmented. All right. And so then we're going to put some on the other. I just thought she would go really pretty with this look. So that's what we got going on here. You can do a little more subtle, or you can do flat out. And what I think I'm gonna do, because because that's a little bit much for me. So I'm gonna pat this down just a tad. Calm it down just a little. But I think it's really pretty. I did not forget our friends, the shimmers. So let me grab my Simply Posh brush here, and I'm gonna get the new Lock and Glow from Day Day Signature. Also a new release available on her website. And it's a really nice formula. It's creamy. And usually I just pop a little bit there, pop a little bit there, and just kind of smooth it on everywhere that I want my shimmer to go. And I just use tapping motions to put it on, so I smooth it on like so, and then tap. Like that. Okay, and then the shimmers that I'm going to use are going to be Shortcake and Jam. So I'm going to use Shortcake and then Jam. I'm going to use my brush. I feel these shimmers do better with the brush than with a finger. So I'm just going to put this where I want it, here on the outer part of my lid. Look at that. That's really shimmery. And these are really pretty shimmers. They actually give just kind of a nice sheen over the mats, which I find to be very pretty. Here's that one. Now I'm going to get Jam, that lighter one, just using the other side of the brush, and I'm going to put that on the inner part here. And kind of blending Jam into Shortcake. Like so. Now we'll do the other side.
What other side are you referring to?
Alexa apparently wanted to join the show.
What show are you talking about?
I'm doing a video, Alexa.
What kind of video are you working on? I'd love to hear more about your project.
Can we talk about it later?
Absolutely. Catch you later when you're ready to chat about your video project.
Apparently we had a visitor. Okay, so now I'm putting on Jam on the inner part here. And that's just really pretty. Just a nice sparkle. I like that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to finish up and come back with the final look. Hope you like it. So I just put on some mascara. And then I finished off my lip with this Carolina Herrera lipstick that I've had forever. It's a liquid lippy. It's really pretty. But I wanted to kind of go into my red world today since it kind of matched my top. I'll let y'all turn you down a little bit. There you go. So you can see my top a little bit better. But so I really enjoy the palette so far. It's really nice. I had fun going into the pink and reds here. Hopefully you can see just how pretty this is. And I like the way it came out. The mattes performed very well and they were very pigmented. So, all right, I'm going to do another look. So you'll see look number 2 coming at you right now. Hi everyone, I'm back with the second look with the Strawberry Picnic palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics. It's their newest release. You can pick this up on June 12th at 3 PM CST, which is 4 PM EST, and it's going to be $65, and you can use code Kimberly to save yourself 10% off. Just forgot to mention that earlier when I did the first look, so I wanted to give you that those details. So today, as you can tell again by my top and probably my background, we're going to go into the greens. So I'm going to use mostly this area right here maybe a little bit of the chocolate dipped in the outer V, but we'll see. But I think most are going to be in this green section here. So I'm excited about that. I also wanted to try a new blush that I just got. I'm sure a lot of our makeup lovers know about the new Marc Jacobs Beauty relaunch. I did get this Joystick Balmy Blush Stick, and I got the shade Attention Please. It's a nice orange, and if those know already who've been on my channel, we know I love an orange blush. So this is the component. I've just opened it now with you guys. It just came in the mail yesterday. It's got this cute little nod to their flowers that they have on their perfumes. And it has Marc Jacobs written right here. And so you open it up and you can see just how pretty this is. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick little swatch for you guys on my skin, and ooh, she is pigmented. Yes, we're gonna like that. That is fantastic. So let me put a little bit of it on. Let me grab one of my blush brushes here. So I'm gonna get this BK Beauty 109 brush, and I'm gonna use that to put this on. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of what I've dabbed, and I'll show you how I kind of blend it out on my hand so you can see how you can shear it out like that. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of it. Let's see how that does on me. Okay, so not too much. Let me try to get some off the blush itself, get a little bit more product, and tap it on. Okay, there you go. That's the way to do it for me. Probably for people with darker skin tones, I would go directly off the stick here. And I didn't want to just go right on, put the stick on my cheek, but I think I could. Just until I can get it to the pigmentation that I want, but it is showing up very nicely. And it does appear to be buildable. Just press this in to the skin. That's nice. Okay. Gives you a nice flush of orange, but it is nice to see that it shows up. Now I do have to build it up, but that's okay. But it does show up, as you can see, cheek that's not done, cheek that's done. And it just show up very nicely. That's nice. Okay. All right, so let's do the other cheek. All right. I'm just pressing that in. I may actually just try to stick it on there like this and just paint it on. There you go. So paint it on. We'll try it that way. And then blend it in with the brush, like so. I do like how it's not picking up my foundation, so that's good. And it does seem to be buildable, so that's nice as well. But it gives a nice kind of an orange flush to the cheek. So there. That's nice. Okay. I like it. Now, is it going to be overly pigmented on my skin tone? No. But if you want a nice flush of orange, and I do, see if I pack it on here. Do that. I can definitely get it to build. And I do like how it's not moving my foundation. I do like that a lot. But you can see, yeah, so you can see there, it is getting up. Now it's obviously a blush balm, so it is a little bit shiny. I don't know if it's coming off as much on camera, but I can definitely see the color. It gives my skin kind of a nice flush of orange, but it's not like an overly bow kind of thing. So that's cool. Okay, excellent. All right, so again, that's the new blush balm from Marc Jacobs, and I got the shade Attention Please. So a nice orange. I almost got the other one, but it felt like it was a little bit more sheer. And I love an orange, so you know I gotta start there. Okay, so let's get into this eye look now. So let me put my friends here to kind of put my hair back. just like so. Okay. And then we are going to use the Day Day Signature Locked in Base again in Ivory Grip. So we'll put a dot of each, boop, boop, just like last time. A dot of that is all you need. Again, you can pick this up from the Day Day Signature website. Use code Kimberly, save you 10%. All right, so we're gonna get this on. Just gonna push this out here. That's good. And kind of fill in this other eye. And I really do like this brace. It really does a great job. And I decided to use the white base just because of to make sure these mattes kind of pop, especially since I'm planning to use that lighter pastel green. And I want to make sure it shows up nicely. So there we go. Got our base down. And we're ready to roll. All right, so again, going to use those really, really pretty Simply Posh brushes that also will be available when this is released. And I'm going to go into that first shade called Berry Barn. Tap off my brush since my face is done. And we're going to just put this in the outer V. Just like that. Let's see here. And this has, look at that, really good pigmentation, which is really nice. I was really happy to see that there are a couple darker shades in this palette, because I really like doing my makeup with a darker outer V. I love adding some depth. So I'm going to put this down here. Doing the other side. Okay, good. Got that darker color laid down the way I want it. Great. So now I'm going to go next to another of the mid-size blending brushes. And I think I'm going to go now into the shade In the Season. So this kind of mid-tone green. And just put that over here. Kind of just blending into that darker shade. Like so. Same thing on this side. And having it go around. Same thing on this side, just kind of swirling it down to the bottom here. Like that. Now I'll take another one of these blending brushes here from Simply Posh, and I'm going into Orchard, which is kind of that lighter green, not the lightest, but the next one down. I'm putting it just above the In the Season, just above there. And I'm also going to take some of it and put it right here on the lid. Kind of going into that Berry Barn shade. Like so. And tapping off Orchard and doing the same thing here. Nice. Just kind of making a green gradient. And also, again, putting the Orchard, tapping it off on the inner part of the lid. Just in the middle part, I should say. In the middle part to touching the inner. I'm going to leave that a little bit open because I am going to put some of the lightest shade on the very inner part. There, just like this. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to get a smaller, still from Simply Posh. I love the fact there's so many brushes in this set. And now I can do the lightest shade. I'm going to tap that in to try to get that color show up. And as you can see, it's showing up very nicely. For a pastel on my skin tone, this is very impressive. And so I'm just highlighting under the brow over on just the outer part there. Same thing on this side, pressing in first so I can get the color. Tapping off to reduce the fallout and pressing in. And then blending that shade into the lower green shade. Like so. Cool. So now I'm going to grab another one of the blending brushes. I'm actually going to grab it from the old Simply Posh set. This is the black set they used to have. And I'm going to go into Picnic, which is that tan shade, and kind of put that right here on the inner part. And I'm kind of using this to kind of blend in so that white is not showing up. But you see that? Just on the inner part of the under the brow. So putting Picnic right there. Same thing on this side here. And it's close to my skin tone, so it actually kind of acts like a nice kind of transition, I think. There. Kind of like that. Oh, like that. Okay, great. Now going back into that small brush that I was using for Garden Fresh, that light one, and we're gonna put that here, just on the most inner part of the lid. Just like so. And I'm using tapping to kind of get that color laid down. Not so much worried about blending at this point, just trying to tap it down. Like this. Go. Tap, tap, tap. Blend up into the other shade. Tap, 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 and blend. And so that's it. So you can leave this as a matte lid if you want to. I am not doing that, of course, because we're gonna add our friends, the shimmers. So gonna get my base. This time I'm gonna use the Cleona and Back to the Brow collab from Cleona Cosmetics, the Shine On, and I'm gonna put that just here over everywhere I want to lay down my shimmers. This one's getting towards the end. Luckily I have backups. Bought some myself, and actually one came in the Christmas mystery box for shadows. They had that and I was really excited about that because I love the base. So putting that, a little bit of that on. So like I told you earlier, we're going to use the green shimmers here. So I'm going to use Berry Fields, Sweet and Juicy, and Blanket on the inner corner there. So let's start with Berry Fields. So we got that really right there. And I'm just putting that right on the outer point there. And I love it because it's like a green and brown shimmer. So we're putting that there. And then we're going to put Sweet and Juicy just inside of that first shimmer shade, just to add a little bit of sparkle. Love that. And then Blanket is that really pretty silver, and I'm just going to tap that right here on the inner, very inner part of the lid, just like so. Nice. I'm going to actually get from the prior Simply Posh brush set, I'm going to get a nice flat shader brush, and then I'm going to kind of intensify each one of these shimmers by Adding a little bit more like that. Cleaning off my brush, getting some of the green one with the green and gold in it. And then some of Blanket, which is that really pretty silver, to put on the inner part here. Kind of have that go up just a tad. Great. Then I'm gonna grab that Simply Posh brush that I use for a Berry Barn, get a little extra there, and then kind of fade that into it to kind of meld the outer corner shimmer to the matte, like so. Excellent. And you see I have a little fallout, so again, if that bothers you, make sure you do your face last. Do eyes first. I'm gonna go back into Berry Fields, Sweet and Juicy, and Blanket, and Blanket, and put those on there. Blanket on the inner part there. Here we go. There we go. Very nice. All right, so again, I'm going to use that shader brush and kind of clean things up. Tap a little bit more of that on. A little bit more of Sweet and Juicy. And finish out with a little bit more Blanket, like so. Good. And then what I'll do is we'll wipe off the fallout and probably end up putting a little bit more foundation back on, but I'll do that when I get everything cleaned up. All right, so I'm gonna go clean this up and then I'll be back with the final look. And so I'm back, and here's the finished look. So what I did was I put a little bit of the Garden Fresh, that's lighter pastel green, and I put that on the inner corner, and then I mirrored the mattes from the upper lid. So I have Orchard, then In Season, and then Berry Barn going all the way across here. For liner, I used the Melt Slick Waterline from the Edward and Scissorhands collection. That pretty, I thought it was a pretty mint green, so I put that on the inner part of the lower lash line. And on the outer part, I used from the Victoria Beckham. This is their Satin Kohl liner, and this is in the shade Olive. And I just put that on the outer part of the lower lash line. For my lips, I wanted to use the Blend Bunny in Jordan Liberty Masterclass. This is in the shade Pony Up. I use this for my lip liner. And then I got the new Unearthly Cosmetics metallic Venom Frost. It was just really pretty green, and I thought it would go really nice with this look, and I was excited to get a chance to use that. So I have that on today as well. And that's pretty much, I think, all of the deets. The other stuff I mentioned earlier, foundation, concealer, all the same. So here is the Strawberry Picnic palette. I really like it. I love how you can get very diverse looks from it. I was able to do a pink and red look at first. Now you have the all green look now. There's also this nice little midsection with neutrals. So you have your tans and kind of yellowy tan color there. I use that on the inner part of under the brow just to kind of meld into my skin, and I think it did a really good job. But I really enjoyed the palette. The mattes are very pigmented. They're easy to blend. The shimmers are very nice. They're not going to be the multi-chrome shifty all over the place, but they are very beautiful. They're shimmery and add kind of like a little sparkle to the lid, which I am really enjoying. I really think this is a very pretty look. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to wear it out today. So let me know what you think. What did you like better? Look number one, look number two, or you like them both? Leave the color emoji below of which one was your favorite. Use a red one for the first look, green for the second look, or if you like both, put a red and a green heart. That would be fantastic. And thanks again for coming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. love if you leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, because here on this channel at Kimberly's Corner, we're going to have a good fun talking about all things beauty. So just remember, live your best life. This is not a dress rehearsal. You are on stage, so make it the best performance ever. Bye, guys.